My loves, today is all about the places that we don't usually want to go, also known as our inner child. And you may be super sophisticated and you did the workshops and you've done the therapy and you're like, what? Inner child? But let me tell you, it is the work, it's the ongoing stuff. Good childhood, difficult childhood, doesn't matter. Every one of us has a subconsciousness, an unconscious part of ourselves, also known as our unhealed stuff, also known as inner child, that needs to be tended to for us to be strong, clear minded, and healthy. And that tending to requires consciousness, gentleness, loving kindness, and ultimately not abandoning the parts of ourselves that can really feel like a hassle sometimes to take care of. So, what you're getting today is part of a workshop that I did within my Heart Centered membership that was called Big Energy. It was all about working with inner child healing to tap your power. So, in our new tradition, I have a discount for you if you want to go get this workshop and audiobook in its entirety. So, you get a 90-minute audiobook, or you can watch the video of the workshop. We have an accompanying slide deck. So, my suggestion is to either listen to the audiobook with the slide deck and take notes, or watch it with the slide deck. I'm walking people through a journaling experience. There might be some tears, and this is the work that unleashes your, do I want to say inner parent? That unleashes your great capacity to lead your life. All right, enough of that. Let me tell you about the discount code. So go to daniellelaporte.com/big energy. Big energy. Use code POD112, POD112. You get $7 off the workshop and audiobook. So that brings it to $30. It's called Big Energy, Inner Child Work That Will Change Your Life. Coupon code is valid until this Friday, May 10th at 11:59. The Big Energy workshop was my most highly attended, and I don't know if we could call it delightful workshop because we got in there and did some work, but the feedback was pretty amazing. It's really based on the perspective that our spiritual maturity, our greatness, our capacity to lead all elements of our lives, to lead our creativity and our abundance and our productivity and our families and our businesses, really is about taking care of what we have been taught to push away. Yeah, that's reparenting. That's the shadow work. That is really the light work. That is really inner child work. So, big energy, inner child work that will change your life. If you've been around in the orbit for a while, you know that like major proclamations aren't my thing, but I'm telling you, inner child work will change your life. And I was 5 therapists in, with each of them saying, you need to do shadow work and inner child work. And my first response was extreme resistance, because I just thought, I'm a grown woman. Why do I need to do this? And then once I softened to it, I thought that shadow work, which is really inner child work, was about me punishing myself, that I was going to find all the ways that I was manipulative and over seductive and egocentric and all those things. And I was going to give myself a talking to. And that's not what it's about at all, as I'm going to unfold for you. So let's talk about first what the inner child is. Inner child is a term. So let me put into the space what inner child is not. Inner child is not us when we were 5 years old or 10 years old. Although in this experience, we're going to be referencing our younger selves. Inner child is a term for your unhealed stuff. It's an interchangeable term with ego, shadow, stuff in the basement of your psyche. Inner child is your unconscious self. Inner child is your subconscious self. Those are different things. Inner child, I'm using these words really specifically. Inner child is a term, a powerful term for your perceived woundedness. A lot of us think we're wounded in ways we really weren't wounded. I think we got wounded by particular people, and that wasn't the intention. It's just stuff we came in with. So inner child is it's our sense of woundedness. And the reason it's such a powerful term is because when most of us, most sane, moral people, when you hear the term inner child, you soften a bit. It evokes gentleness, and gentleness is the medicine. That's it. This is really why we're here, to really get and then embody. But I really want to get the concept across. Gentleness and compassion is the way we heal our darkest stuff, our loudest, most fractious, most jagged stuff that the self-help space has trained us think like we need to take a flamethrower to. Nah. Gentle. That's the octane. All right, let's go back meta. What's healing? We'll probably bring this up every time we get together. Healing is the act of consciously, intentionally removing obstacles to love. Another way to say that is healing is the act of bringing the stuff up from the basement to be seen. We're making the unconscious conscious. What's consciousness? It's the light of your love shone on the dark and gnarly stuff. So let's go another level. What is inner child healing? We are moving obstructions and resistances to our unhealed bits. You'll hear me use the term fragment a lot. How do we do this? We integrate it. We healing heart it. We rainbow heart it. We're going to bring it all in. We're not casting any of it out. How do we get the stuff that we've been pushing away, that's living on the porch of our psyche, to come in? We magnetize it in. What's the greatest magnet that there is? Love. Love is the greatest compelling force in the universe. There's actually some great physics around this. All right, so what are our intentions of being here? This is what I would love. This is my prayer. My intention is always prayerful. One, that we reframe what inner child work is. And hopefully we can come to the revelation that this is warm-hearted lifetime work. So it's a refresher for some of us, and it's a deepening for some of us. I want to help us make the connection from our current adult, quote unquote, negative, uncomfortable, not so ideal behavior, and connect that, bridge that to what our inner child needs. We're going to build the bridge. Reactivity is actually the inner child asking for something. And then I want to leave you with some simple daily practices. And number 4, we are here to become the benevolent leaders of our own life. Benevolent leaders of our own life. This is a much more poetic way of saying we're going to reparent ourselves. So let me give you the definition of benevolent. It comes from the Latin word bene, which means well, and volent, which means to wish. You are wishing well. So you are constantly well-wishing for yourself. Charitable, good-hearted. Imagine being kindly to everything that you're ashamed of. All those times you were real shit in relationships, imagine being open-hearted with that stuff. All the reasons you're in therapy, could you be sympathetic before you walk into the therapy room? Okay, now context before we proceed. Our time together is not about digging up our grievances against our parents or family of origins or our original communities. That's what therapy is for. Go in and dig it up and yell it out if you need to. The exercise here is about us being the leaders of our sense of woundedness. So if you can just make a prayer to yourself right now, we pause on blame and shame that's faced outward. Yeah, lots of us experience all kinds of things that have scarred us, but we're going to hold those scars ourselves today. We can get into the who did what conversations later if necessary. My experience is the more I take responsibility for loving my woundedness, the fewer conversations about who did what need to happen. Okay, so this is the energy, a mutual embrace. What I notice with inner child work in this wellness space is that it is often misdirected in that we think we need to get our inner child to grow up and mature. And that is not the point. This is an as is proposition. You are loving your inner child, whether they're anxious, they are throwing temper tantrums, they are fearful, whatever it is, you are accepting how they show up to you. You're not training your inner child to be fearless or courageous or more stable or balanced. As is love. That's it. That's it. That's it. My loves, can I talk to you about business for a second? I do not do business planning in a conventional way. So I think quarterly objectives and KPIs are super cool. But my team and I have found that they work a lot better if all of those goals and metrics are synced with a more metaphysical seasonal calendar. Like the thing is, so many of us in this wellness, personal development space know that it's all energy, except when it comes to how we grow our careers and how we entrepreneur, we kind of slip out of that deep knowing. We slip out of the metaphysics and we get suckered into the cookie cutter, over measured, crushing, hacking game, right? I'm not into it. I want to teach that you can have all of the prosperity and peace of mind with less force and more flow. So what I'm doing is we've created a bundle. It's an all new heart-centered business bundle. And these are the principles that Team D is using to plan our businesses and our lives. And it's going pretty good. So if you go to daniellelaporte.com/biz bundle, BIZ, or if you're American, that's BIZ bundle, BIZBUNDLE. And this is a freebie, by the way. So it's a heart-centered business bundle. It's a PDF download. And this is what you're going to get. My metaphysical guide to business planning. We are giving you my business seasons outline. We actually use this in the business. Are you in the summer of your career or the winter of your career? We've got a metaphysical weekly calendar to use. I've got a guide on Mercury retrograde, and we have a whole overview of a new approach to the new year, what it looks like when you get in sync with the lunar new year, way more better. And I'm also throwing in the manifesto for conscious business. So what that is it's a very light how-to on getting clarity about what's most important to you in your business building and your careering. So it's all free. Metaphysical Guide to Business Planning. Go to daniellelaporte.com/biz bundle. Why do we do inner child work? To see what's holding us back. Don't you want to see what's holding you back? So that repressed emotions are not making decisions for us. How many times are we going to date the same person in a different body? How many times are we going to have the same kind of boss who doesn't see us? How many times are we going to leave? This is so simple, so easy to understand. How many more times do we want to leave a conversation wishing we would have said that other thing? Yeah, we don't need to do that. We do inner child work so that the fear doesn't steer us, so that we go to the party.
Or we don't go to the party and we're not at home worrying about what people think of us because we didn't go to the party. Those are fear-based decisions so that we no longer identify with the victimhood. Were many of us legitimately victimized? Yes. Unfair things happened. Not okay. Immoral things may have happened. Legit. Are we going to continue seeing ourselves as victims of that or as the healers of that? It happened and I'm the healer, or it happened, I'm the victim. Okay. We do inner child work to become free, to become the benevolent leaders of our lives. Okay. So, what does inner child healing look like? We're going to review this later. How many did I do? I did 9 principles. You're the loving parent. You have to do the inner child work. Your husband will not do this for you. Your coach, your therapist, your metaphysical practitioner, your best friend, they are not going to love your inner child into healing. They can support you. They can help co-regulate your nervous system so you feel more capable to be the benevolent leader. They can mother you well. They can love you well. They can coach you so well so that you can be relaxed enough and confident enough and in touch enough with your higher self that you can do everything that needs to be done. But you got to take care of your own baby. Okay. We have faith and repair. The sole focus in inner child work is realizing that healing is possible. I can get us through this. I will get us through this panic attack. I will get us through this job interview. I will get us out of the house. I've got this and I've got you. Every day is bring your inner child to work day. Every day. We don't leave him, her, they at home. Okay. Inner child work looks like empathy. You have empathy. The cousin of empathy is sympathy for what you went through. Poor you. You're still a nervous wreck. You're still scared. That sucked. That was shit. That was so unfair. That was not fun whatsoever. I really empathize with you. This validation, healthy validation. Okay, another practice of healing the inner child, affirmation. We're going to write down some affirmations later. You affirm you've got your inner child. You're going to love them over and over again, verbally. You playing is a healing act. You bring your inner child with you. So it's not like getting down on the floor with your kid to play Legos. It's, I'm going to join the soccer league. I'm going to do the yoga. I'm going to take salsa lessons. I'm going to hang out with my girlfriends. I'm going to do Saturday morning hockey. I'm going to do some watercolors. And because I'm the mother, I'm the benevolent leader, and you are coming with me. Your inner child relaxes when you relax. When your nervous system is regulated, you're not going to have that, as VS put it, those inner outbursts, those inner tantrums. Because you got your inner child, because your inner child is you. Inner child healing is as is love, also known as unconditional love. So if your inner child is nervous, if they're angry, disappointed, exhausted, you take them that way. You don't say, you need to relax, you need to get over it, you need to get more sleep. In the moment, I see you, I got you. What are you bringing to me? Okay, it's in the now, love. No trying to force. When your stuff comes up from the basement, you're not saying, I'm going to polish you up and tomorrow I'm going to put you in the yard sale. When your fear comes up, you're not going to say, I'm going to love you so much that tomorrow you are fearless. It's right now. What do you got for me right now? Because the fear right now might last for weeks. And that's the test of you being the parent. Wow, you're scared on Monday? Okay. You scared on Tuesday? Great. You scared. You don't worry about Tuesday, Wednesday, the rest of the week, as is in the now. And deep protection. I believe that our job as humans is to create conditions of healing for ourselves and to love ourselves as God would love us. I mean, really, we could stop the workshop right now. Just say, how would God love you? Do that. Imagine how the Divine Mother would love you. Do that every day. Change your life, change the world, change your karma, change the future of humanity with that. Love yourself the way God would love you. So, ultimate protection, fierce mother bear, father warrior protection for your wounded parts. Can you hear the difference in self help culture and that? So rather than I'm an adult right now and I'm going to create boundaries so people treat me a certain way and I get loved the way I think I need to be loved, or they're not getting my love. See how manipulative that is? That's the basis of so many relationship teachings. Subtle manipulation. Instead of that kind of present tense standardizing of everything, of boundaries, it's about present tense protecting my most vulnerable parts, the things that I am most afraid of. The most anxious part of me, I will fiercely protect. So you get comfortable shoes. You don't overwork. You hang out with people who make you feel more like yourself. You listen to the right mantra. You move more gently. It's fierce protection. Okay. And then inner child healing looks like attunement, daily check ins. Got to feed your kid every day, daily. This is the work of a lifetime. Cannot convey that enough. I could have enlightenment experiences, transcendental. I could sit at the foot of a guru and get a new name. My work is still to care for my inner child. Doesn't go away.
All right, my love. So if you want to get the rest of the class, do the experience. From the people who participated in the workshop and are now listening to the audiobook, the feedback that I'm getting is that this is something you might want to have on repeat, do a few times. So my workshops are part of the Heart Center membership. We are now only opening the doors to the membership twice a year. So you can get on a wait list for the next door opening, daniellelaporte.com/membership. Be the first to know when we fling La Porte open. And in the meantime, we're taking all of our workshops and offering those as one-offs now. So you can get the Big Energy Life Workshop with the audiobook, totally produced and beautiful, at daniellelaporte.com/bigenergy. And again, the code to get $7 off, which brings the audiobook and workshop down to $30, is POD112, POD112, daniellelaporte.com/bigenergy. And that discount code is good for you until Friday, May 10th at 11:59 Pacific time. The invitation here is to reframe the emotional work that we need to do to become our own mothers and fathers of our lives. So we're going to be looking at what triggers our emotional shutdowns and how the soul selects our lessons. We're going to get into family of origin stuff. And you'll do an exercise that connects your current adult emotions to the unmet needs of your unconscious self, also known as your inner child. This is what we need to remember. Gentleness is the medicine. Gentleness is the counter move. It's actually the power move for all of the stuff that we have repressed into the basement of our psyche. So it's not about leaving that stuff on the porch and never paying attention to it. It's not about hyper motivational dictums to get your inner child to grow up or to have your fear become fearless. You know, you don't want to be yelling at your doubt to be doubtless. This is about accepting what's in the darkness for what it is, and then it comes out into the light. And it doesn't control your decision making and who you date and the next job you take. Yeah, this is about consciousness through gentleness. That's the way, I'm telling you. I will be here for you next Wednesday and many Wednesdays for the foreseeable future. Always with love, Danielle. Thank you so much for listening, for feeling, for spreading the word with love.